here, gods. This is the day when anime dies. Faceless looks like a clearly more stable draft for them. I'm not buying it from Jackie Mao and the boys.
PL's like, that's the hero, you know, no one believes in him. This is the anime storyline. They're going to be putting on Fata too. They're running in the mid lane. If I think PL and NB, I'd be like, well, that's an NB hero, but this is like a SCA style thing. It started saying that TNC used to do, run this mid PL against like Invoker type heroes. Okay versus the OD, but not anywhere near as good as some of the other matchups where he used to be picked.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. Of course, on the side of Faceless, for the most part, pretty comfort picks at this point. We saw a lot out of the Japs Pudge previously. The OD's been a stable mid for them as we momentarily enter the field of battle. So how does NP take this game? I feel like they're kind of disadvantaged by the draft, though. We haven't seen much of PL. It's hard to say for sure. But like, if they're going to win, what is the key to that success?
Prepare for
Probably
battle.
strong laning. That was the big reason Legion was one of the top offlaners last patch, was just how good he was in lane. So running some strong dual lanes, like sending the Coddle to the off lane. Clockwork will probably be roaming around, maybe helping the bottom lane initially. And yeah, doing well in the lanes. You want to hit this like early game item timing where Bristle gets very hard to kill, same for the Legion Commander, and play around their strengths. But it's very hard to find kills because of the numerous saves on Faceless' side. They've got the Pudge Meat Hook, they've got the OD Astral. They have ways to get out of those rotations and ganks from NP.
Looks like there was an early smoke commitment here by NP. But
get down those level 1 wards undetected and try and scout out your opponent's lanes, because it does look like NP are going to be running Legion in the safe lane. Getting Envy up top on the Bristle, so maybe more like a kind of the off-lane-ish Bristleback, but definitely a more comfort hero for NB, while the Legion is very much an MSS hero.
So yeah, it's going to be the safe lane Legion, as you mentioned, up against the Batrider of Ice Ice Ice. Takes a quick slice of those blades. Now it looks to add on to the pain here with the Battery Assault level 1. Doing some decent damage, Jabs. In position.
The battle begins.
I think that is one thing to point out here. Is I don't know that it's as good of a Pudge game this time around. God's PL, not really a great hook target. He can usually get away. Clockwork, often you hook him and the Battery Assault makes you pay. You can't easily get off Dismember in fights. So I'm not convinced Jabs will have quite as easy of a time making big plays for the team.
Yeah, last game there were squishy heroes, Lina, Luna. You hook one of these, you rot, you dismember, you get a kill with the Invoker. This game they're tankier frontliners. He's maybe more effective as a defensive hero this game, able to save teammates if someone gets hit by a Clockwork hook shot. You can then hook him out or hook the clock out. Either way, it kind of can save one of your cores. But in terms of offensive power, yeah, he's not going to be anywhere near as effective as we saw last game.
They do have that cute combo of an Astral and potentially no hook as long as you practice the timing.
Yep.
Should be close to a guaranteed hook, assuming creeps cooperate. So it is the dual lane up top. Envy going to be running the Bristle, a very irritating lane for really anyone to deal with constant mana. The Bristle should be able to spam those quills freely.
Yes.
Not going to be fun for a Life Stealer.
Life Stealer, 1 base armor, not fun at all against all the physical damage in this draft and the unlimited mana we'll see on the Bristleback. Has got the magic stick, but ultimately Bristle doesn't care about giving you magic stick charges if he's zoning you away from the CS in lane.
Yeah, what a dream magic stick game with a Batrider on the enemy team as well. So Crystal Maiden starting off in the woods here. But as the lanes stand, it doesn't really look like Faceless have much kill potential here early on. Going to be much more reliant on either smoke yanking and catching someone entirely off guard. And I guess that's where you look at NP's cores, and these are tough ganks, guys. The Bristleback's tanky, so too is the Legion, and PL does have a nice escape mechanism, even if they head on mid. So it really feels like it'll be win through just out farm rather than through fragging early.
Yeah, both bottom and top lane are good lanes for NP. The mid lane is the one lane where they probably won't win. You can already see in the CS, PL a little bit behind the OD. Does have a couple more denies, the base damage that he gets, but now Fat is being forced under his tower, making his life a little bit more difficult to CS. Although he is doing well so far with the Quelling Blade. He is not missing any of these last hits. Okay, I say that, I jinxed it. Sorry, Fata, I won't say anything else.
PL with the Quelling Blade and a poor man shield. Definitely, and a good attack animation, one of the easier heroes to last hit on. Part of the reason I think why we did see a resurgence in the past of those like melee agility heroes mid. Most of them have good attack animations. Most of them have pretty high base damage, and they all benefit from the Quelling Blade. But actually able to pull ahead in CS, so seems like it's going all right so far. What's not going all right is this top lane, though, as Envy finds an easy first blood, rolling through Nuts with the help of his Keeper of the Light, Jab, maybe trying to turn things around. And meanwhile, bottom lane, Ice also getting punished. He takes the battery salt cogs. He stands his ground for now, but it seems like they really struggle to deal with this top lane. Jabs, pitching, and not going to find a connection. Indeed, those Quills punches such low base armor. Getting punished with the goo. It's another kill for Envy. Almost feels like tri-laning this is going to make matters worse, gods.
Yikes. Oh boy, they've got 3 heroes with 1 base armor. The CM, the Lifestealer, and the Pudge all suffering in this top lane.
Time to buy up those rings of protection.
Yeah, absolutely. Get something going to give you some extra early armor.
It's actually starting to look pretty bleak in the lanes for Faceless, as they are not winning out in farm either. In fact, they're losing in that department. They're giving up kills. They seem likely to, at best, continue to fall behind in CS, if not give up more. So perhaps they're going to have to start to look towards either some lane adjustments or towards catching up later on, because right now it's not really working.
Yeah, the Clockwork's done a good enough job of securing bottom lane for Legion Commander. So yeah, they're winning a few of these lanes, and Jabs is trying to make some moves perhaps soon. Has a hook.
He's going to find it too. He pulls AUI into the wrong side of his own cogs. The backup is in the neighborhood, and Ice looks to make the most of it, but no way to cancel TP. Sayonara, says AUI. Makes it out easily. And XY, meanwhile, being pressured top.
He's not getting anything. He's spent money on like consumables.
Perhaps mid they can go. Fada does not have any mana right now. Rare opportunity to gank him. Nuts is going to set up shop. He does have the Frostbite here. Should be enough for the kill unless rotation will come in. Even Radiant Scan coming out, trekking those trees, but, well, Nuts came from the north, so it's not going to help.
Went for some CS before he died. Didn't even pop his Fairy Fire. Accepted his fate. And goes down as Black continues to do well in this mid lane, but that is the one lane where Faceless are doing very well. Bottom lane's like so-so. You're not expecting your off lane to necessarily free farm, but you compare the 2 off laners, the Bristleback doing incredibly well, or if you compare him to the Legion of MSS, who's in this lane, also doing incredibly well.
So with NP having that powerful start, we do see Faceless strike out and look to mix up the lanes. They're going to smoke towards bottom. Eyes on MSS. Legion Commander with the 10 sick charges and about to grab her phase boots. Indeed, will do so now. Suddenly gets a whole lot more difficult to gank. That move speed is not to be trifled with, and Ice already forced to pop this very far on the way out. Can Jabs even man-fight him? MSS with 3 heroes surrounding him. The hook coming through. He gets 1. He's got too much heal. He's even going to be able to salve up.
They might get more.
Are not respecting him. Meanwhile, top lane, there's also a dive. He's going to look for an additional kill. Give me a second, what he says. It's duel time, baby. Slow auto attacks. He will win. Lives to tell the tale. Limps away. 311 victories. Closing in on a very dank total. Whew.
That is...
Well, Legion Commander is tanky. That is for damn sure.
MSS Dota right there. Yeah, gets a 1v3 double kill.
And they're looking for more. XY in a lot of trouble top with those quills stacking up. A TP will save him for now. But gods, like you mentioned, well, mid lane at least going well for Faceless. PL's still farming a lot, so really it feels like at best it's a draw mid and they're losing everywhere else.
Yeah, that's NP have set things up that they didn't mind if mid lane isn't a win for them because they are dominating the other lanes. They will lose AUI here. Or will they? The Cox push? Not going to be enough.
Almost taking one with him. 3 Faceless heroes low. These kills are just so hard to come by. And in the meanwhile, bottom lane, MSS, another duel win. He's got the bonus damage to go with it.
20 already?
That's big.
That is dangerous.
That's like a free talent almost at this stage.
Black at mid's being pretty heavily pressured as well. Does have a ring of health for some regen, but with how low he is, he just needs to get the hell out of that lane and go heal up potentially.
The annoying thing laning against PL, just the constant chip damage and spam. And OD not really a hero that wants to be leaving the lane and going for runes if he can help it.
Big concern continues to be XY. You typically pick this Lifestealer because he's a self-sustaining safe laner who doesn't really need much help, has a lot of good matchups, but Bristle is one of those few really bad matchups, and with the dual lane, He's being completely destroyed. Doesn't even have his phase boots up. Is going to be playing catch-up for quite some time. You do not pick a lifestealer to play catch-up as a carry. You pick him to get his early items up, go look for the rotation as an infest bomb.
All right, the one hero that can actually secure them kills, it's Black, but he's going to make the move to top. Onto Envy he goes. He's got decent armor too, so he can survive this quill spam for some time, but they need a little bit of extra firepower. Nuts in danger here. The quills come through. They will destroy the two supporting casts, because really at this point, that is kind of what the lifesteal is reduced to. Black will at least get Envy, but hardly feels worth it. At best, like an even trade there.
Envy even was alive for the 2 kills to get experience and some gold. You see Black 600 gold. It's kind of amazing for Black because it turns into like a solo kill for him, so he gets a huge chunk of gold and XP, gets him up to level 8, but in terms of where the Bristle's at,
it's a tough game to be the only farmed hero, though, when you're up against a Legion commander, a Clockwork, 2 heroes that are very good at isolating a single farmed core. So
that was such good play from Envy to get himself into those trees, prevent the Astral, and buy time for Coddle to charge up that Illuminate.
But it just shows that Faceless recognize, like, these lanes are not working. If they just sit in the lane, they're going to get out-farmed and probably give up kills. At least with ganks, they can maybe get trades. Or so they hope. As a lasso TP is attempted, Pylite die! It's enough with the follow-up quills. They get the kill, they force out the lasso, and they can now look to take the tower. So really, NP just continue to pretty much have their cake, eat it too, and do whatever they please with Faceless.
3 heroes come in bot, but they're not looking to fight this one Faceless. They just show the lifestealer, look to get him some additional farm. He gave up on top, TP'd mid, quickly realized PL's just going to spam out of mid, so now he's found himself in bottom lane. There is no real lane for this lifestealer other than perhaps the jungle at this stage, but that's a very passive way to play, and you'll just start losing towers, falling further behind, so we'll see how this bottom lane will fare. But with a blink on Legion, this is a very dangerous place to be.
2k net worth on the lifestealer. Batrider still a long ways off from the blink. And that is the one thing you look at for Faces, like, oh, maybe they can come back into the game with infest bombs, but those won't even be a possibility for quite some time, as XY is in danger here bottom. There could be a duel any moment. MSS with the blink. Meanwhile, mid also, some pressure. PL. And perhaps got out of position. They're going to find Fado to start things off, though. Black is low. He tried to bait him in. The Blinding Light will bring him back to safer ground, and Jab's unable to connect on the hook.
Interesting, he didn't go for the jump at bottom lane. I believe MSS felt there were heroes behind the lifestealer,
and they were actually behind mid. So
yeah,
just unfortunate.
Still, all in all, fine for NP. They're getting much more farm. They're pressuring all the lanes. Envy going deep at top. We'll see. Oh, he's brought in the Legion top. They're looking for another jewel here. This is a play that I doubt Ice is expecting.
He hardly can even stay in experience range. He's so afraid right now. Even if they don't get the kill, they're still doing a lot of work. He's going to come in with the Firefly, but a quick purge by the Legion, and they look for the chase. The Goo's there, the duel connects, and now Ice locked down. Duel win number 3 for Mojo Stormstout, who is looking rather stout after these fights. I don't know if I've seen a Legion have a better start.
Doing incredibly well. Black Amit's going to have to get himself out of there as Whistle's rotated in, perhaps just done with this top lane, ready to start pressuring this mid-tier 1 tower. Black is farmed, and as well as he's perhaps done in this mid lane, the one strong point for Faceless, he is not ready to fight. Just some null talismans and treads in his inventory.
MSS will tank that tower as much as possible, get maximal creep.
He can TP home and then get recalled right back in. This is such an efficient way to play for NP.
It's a very good play from a head lineup. You know, every lineup obviously wants to be ahead, but NP can really exploit that more than most because of the keeper.
They're ready to defend this one, LD.
Pylite die. We'll scout out Jabs here to start things off. They can get in range for that duel. Blinding Light's going to set it up. MSS coming through. Is it going to be duel win number 4 for him? You betcha. Plus 40. The hits just keep on coming. XY will get the trade-off here on Pylite die, but he cannot take a fight at this stage of the game. Meanwhile, Envy. Oh, Envy. That's a big freebie to be giving up here to Ice. Didn't look like he had any help for that either.
Solo kill. Envy must have just been low HP, and
that was like a 2.5k net worth.
Savage wrecked.
Batrider against 5.7k Bristle.
Ice like that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he realizes that's not a kill that should be happening. But
Yeah, definitely a little freebie, but he'll take what he can get considering the position they're in, and kill or two like that and things don't look quite as bad. Definitely a Faceless draft that is happy to go late game. They've got good save, they've got the initiation from a Batrider, and heroes like Bristleback known for falling off the longer the game goes. They haven't got good sieging on the NP side. They've got 4 melee heroes, 3 of those their core heroes, so they're going to need quite some items to scale late. But what they have got is great map control mobility. They're going to go for a Boots of Travel first on Fata. They can just ping-pong around lanes, using the recall, using this Boots of Travel. They're going to constantly look for pickoffs, try and get this Legion Commander super, super strong with bonus damage. He's going to be perhaps the main building hitter as time goes on. And going into an armor, I think he recognizes he's actually in some ways more of a carry than his other cores this game.
Faceless so reliant on the OD to do anything in fights. Like Lifestealer running in, realistically, he's going to get dueled, bounced around by the cogs, or just kited by the PL. Even the Blinding Light a problem when the Rage is not ready, and he's just not strong enough to find quick kills. So really, they need this Batrider blink. That's how it's feeling. They have to find the blink, and they have to find pickoffs on the back of it. As Ice sweeps around bottom, he's going to see Envy, and he looks to make a go here, but there is a tier 1 available, guys. I don't know if they can commit for this. They're going to try lassoing him back, purging off that lasso immediately, and then going for the duel. Could be costly. Flame Break, not enough. They lose MSS, MSS. Actually combining with XY to get the kill. Another duel win, plus 50 damage now for Mojo.
Oh, hook in, jab.
Does he even get this kill? I don't think so. I think he just feeds one away. Jabs is too far behind. Make it 3. Feeling like it's all free right now for NP.
Oh, absolutely. This is chain kills, or chain feeds, however we're going to call them, coming out. As Faceless giving up a lot of ground. MSS is going to shrine up. He'll be ready to go pretty soon again. May even look to smoke up with this team.
You think about how big those duels are, that's almost a relic right there.
There's a lot of damage to have just 14.5 minutes into the game. The response from Faceless is really just to keep trying to get this OD farm. Try and get those infest bombs happening with the Blink Dagger you mentioned on the Batrider. Until that point, I think Faceless have to be a lot more careful. You can't kill that Bristle fast enough at bottom lane. The Legion TPing in first. They don't TP some Coddle, some Clockwork. They make sure it's the hero that can save against the lasso that is TPing in that scenario.
Jab's having a fish again, but with that Observer Ward on the high ground, those kills are, or those hooks I should say, are difficult to come by. MSS closing in on the arm that you mentioned. Has a second component ready. Only about 1,500 or so off. The Blink's still a ways to go for Ice. So Faceless feel a little constricted in their movement. Have to be careful where they gank, and not only, even if he gets the Blink, there's still not a lot of great lasso targets, and the mobility of NP means like you go for that lasso play, very likely someone will be there to try and counter gank and turn the fight around. So they will take the risk. They're going to roll the dice and head towards bottom. Highlight die, definitely the easiest kill this game, but already he TP's out.
I believe they saw this smoke because they had that ward very deep in the mid lane. I think they saw some heroes go missing. They scanned the north of the smoke, which is where they're like, okay, are they going to come and smoke gank us at top? No, they're not. This is a free tower. And they also then know they're moving bottom. So that was a very well-placed observer ward, much deeper than Faceless expected, scouting out the smoke, and then they combine it with the scan to know exactly where Faceless are on the map.
So Fata getting pulled all around. They're able to shove the top lane in, rotate right back towards mid. Clearly the team that will be able to shove these lanes a whole lot better, at least through this stage of the game. Did see Black go through for the early 4 staff life, so now grabbing the armlet. So no real greed to speak of on Faceless. We don't see Midas's coming out, feeling like they need at least a little bit of punching power to stand toe-to-toe with NP.
Yeah. They got to respect this Clockwork initiation as well. Like, they've got the Pudge hook, but not always going to be reliable.
MSS making his move here in the top lane. Probably the one duel that is hardest to win. I thought I was in the neighborhood, but meanwhile mid lane, they look for this opening. AUI 2000, only a support, sure, but they'll take whatever kills they can get, but even he is not a possible grab without that blink, so they're just really struggling, gods. They can't seem to find these openings.
Yep. Can't take towers, can't find picks. I mean, it's going to come with the ladder first. They're not going to be able to take any objectives until they start finding some kills, and Question is how they do that, and we keep talking about this Batrider blink. It really feels like they're just going to keep on biding their time until they can get that. As much as you'd like to, the fastest way to get that blink is to like smoke up and create some gold income through getting kills, but that just hasn't been working for Faceless. So SSIS is just going to resort to taking out some Ancients and jungle camps.
Slow and steady for NP. Not feeling like they need to hurry at all. They just drop those aggressive wards, patiently wait for our duel opportunities. Still up, and up by a lot. 9,000 gold. Their advantage increasing at a rate of almost 500 gold per minute. Very happy with the start they've had. XY gonna raid the TP out, and with all these outer towers up, NP able to project force very easily all around the map.
Their overall game plan is to keep all lanes shoved out and create pickoffs from this. They've got great lane push with the PL, who's going to be going to the Aghanim Scepter, the Keeper of the Light Illuminate, of course. And when you have all three lanes pushed out, combine that with their mobility, the recall, the boots of travel, it's so easy to find pickoffs and take objectives like Roshan. Your opponents are always going to be visible on the map, or if they're 4 or 5 heroes smoked up, it's very obvious because you push lanes to towers. If no one's defending a lane of creeps and getting farm at a tower, it becomes very apparent what is going on. So complete control in NP's hands. But they've been in this position before. We saw this earlier in the tournament where they had this kind of a lead and struggled to close out games.
And do you feel like this could be one of the same types of games? Does Faceless have the type of lineup that can turtle it up and potentially just punish NP mistakes later on?
I mean, Pudge and Batrider are very good at doing that because it's hard to break high ground against these heroes, but what they do have is a Legion commander, so he's got to press the attack as a save.
We've yet to see a successful lasso this game,
Yeah.
it needs to be said.
And Lifestealer is not a hero that is going to be effective at all as a high ground defense. If this was some actual like better scaling carry or a good high ground defending one, you'd be like, all right, maybe they'll fumble the high ground push a bit and you can see some comeback, but Lifestealer not really going to be best at that. He is going straight into a Maelstrom, wants to be able to deal with the PL a little bit better. Hey, farm some PL illusions. That's one way to get back in the game, but realistically, he's got a long way to go. Blinker's up. We'll see what Bat can do. It was scouted by a Rocket Flare, though, so NP should be ready for this one.
Fada joins the fray, surging onto that tower. Hurricane Pike now complete on black as he chips away at Envy here, but you can see it's slow going for him. The lasso engage comes out, but do they have the fall damage? Can they make anything of this lasso? MSS brought to about half, at least forced away. They are able to pop the Aegis, but now round 2 cometh. They will converge onto Envy.
A lot of
Still
it.
very tanky. Yeah, black
44 stolen.
will hit pretty hard.
I think they have NP need to respect this and back off. That ultimate will destroy them if they're not careful.
So a well-constituted defense. Faceless able to crack the Aegis, get the end, and not lose anyone.
Draft-wise, the best thing Faceless have going for them is an OD against melee cores. They do not deal with this OD well at all. If he can, it's very easy for him to stack up into using this Hurricane Pike. Melee hero hitting your tier 3, you Hurricane Pike him, you hit him 3-4 times,
Here comes the
and you
smoke.
get the int.
Worming their way through the river, NP sneak onto the high ground, just out of range of an Infest Bomb that was lurking. Pi off to the side in the trees. Lunging forward is Eternal Envy, and there's the duel. They find the opening, and they will take down Jabs. Immediately, the tower lays open to them. 64 plus damage. Espada surges in, too. He's going to find Nuts, potentially gets pushed back by the Blinding Light, almost helping him escape. But one more lance will do him in. That Crystal Maiden is mid-speed at this point. Hammer dropped, and it will be a somewhat successful one, bringing down AUI and opening the path as XY charges forward. They are so afraid of black, they back off even further. Fada fencing around from the sides, but his illusion's dropping fairly quickly. Still black, laning with those auto attacks. They lock onto Fada. Can they bring him down? A good purge removing the open wound, but he's low. This could be huge. Dismember coming through, and black jumps in. He sees an opening. He doesn't quite have the kill just yet. He's got to stay focused. Fada surviving, eventually will fall. The trade is in, though, as OD drops. So too will the Lifestealer. They get MSS, though. Quite a chaotic skirmish, but ending a mega kill streak on MSS. Not horrible for Faceless, though. It looks like they're going to lose more here. The hook shot comes out, TP away. The hook looking for the CM, looking for the full 5-hero wipeout, but instead means they get neither kill.
Yeah.
When the dust settles, though, it's still a pretty hefty lead for NP.
Yeah, still very decisively ahead there. PL, Fata made a really nice little micro play after that doppelganger, he sent the illusions running, left his real hero standing still, so it ended up taking a lot longer to kill him. And as a result, OD gets jumped upon and taken out. The one hero Faceless who don't want to lose. Great initial ultimate from Black. He was just about to lose all that in. When he threw that ultimate, he still had about 40 stolen int, and then 5 seconds later, it was down to like 16. So he used it right as that int was about to expire, making sure he got maximum value out of the spell, but even that was not enough for Faceless to come out on top.
Well, they buy themselves time, you know, and if they're not giving up kills as the game progresses, this 11K gold lead isn't nearly as big of a deal 30, 40 minutes in as it is right now at 23. Yep. So they'll try to wait things out as best they can.
It's going to get tough when the BKB start kicking in. Envy's got his early on against the OD. So Legion get one as his next item. PL, not really a hero you'd expect to get one. Probably just see a standard like Diffuse or pick up from him as his next item after the Ag Scepter. But see what he has in mind soon enough.
Faceless come a marching down bottom. Black, the lead actor in this play, at least for now. So we'll see some more items streaming in for NP. Grabbing the Aghanim Scepter on the PL. So we've got that bouncing Lance to worry about now.
Big thing for NP is they have to think about how do we approach high ground now. They're definitely going to find themselves with all the lane push, the big lead they've got, in a position where they should be able to secure the next Roshan without too big of a contest. And once they've done that, how do they legitimately break high ground? What items do we need? They're going for the BKBs. Do we need something to do with the Batrider Lasso? Do we need to start thinking about Lincoln Spheres? High ground push is going to be the toughest part of this game for Team NP.
Now, they also, to go with that, do have the Solar Crest on the Bristle. You already have the Legion to somewhat deal with the Lasso, unless he's the target, obviously, or unless she is. And on top of that, they have the Keeper of the Light Egg. So these items that NP are building largely do feel well-suited to attempt to breach structures and work their way into the high ground.
And to go with that, how do you stop the OD like dominating a fight, which is going to be the BKBs and
well, ideally you duel him.
yeah, that's the dream.
That's the dream.
Let's see whether Faceless allow that one. XY's a hero you can just ignore. He's still so incredibly underfarmed, just 7k net worth. He just completely ignore him. Doesn't need to be addressed. You don't want to hook him. If anything, that's like a bad result because he can just turn around, rage, hit the clockwork. XY's goal is to try and catch someone like the Coddle in these fights.
You just kind of jump in the Batrider and hope that he puts you near the Coddle when he blinks in.
Exactly. I think he has to. He can't really walk into fights. He has to use one of the vehicles available. Really just the Batrider at this point.
You could go inside the OD, but even with the Blink Dagger, I doubt Black wants to play too aggressively.
I don't think it's in Black's interest to go into the fight if he has those, but
probably more of a defensive Blink so he can jump away if Fada attempts that initiation. Or sorry, MSS.
Good synergy with the Astral because you can always do that Astral yourself, Blink Escape type play. Although there is a cogs to hit you on your way out, so maybe not always entirely reliable. NP just going to be waiting out that next Roche as mentioned. That's kind of like their bread and butter strategy. Just keep lanes pushed, secure Roche, and set up for that high ground push by getting wards up. Make sure you get Roche first, and then after that, make sure you have these BKBs ready to go.
Nuts is in danger bottom. Goes for the TP out the Rockets there. Hook just a split second late. But it's fine for NP. They take the tier 2 mid in the meantime, so all outer towers eradicated from the map. Faceless in danger of getting bottled up, and now they're going to look for the jump here. They do get the duel off. It's a lot of damage being pumped into this OD. Another win for MSS, closing in on plus 100 damage, already up to 78 here. That's averaging like 3 bonus damage a minute this game.
Yep. That's where this NP draft, I think they're feeling is going to be all right to hit high ground the longer this game goes. They'll rely on MSS to just keep finding picks here and there, and as time goes on, he'll get plus 100, plus 150. They really need more and more damage. It'll come from him, and he'll be the one to hit these buildings at a very powerful rate.
Yeah, that with a Bristle with an AC, and all of a sudden a lineup that looks pretty mediocre. And Sieging is actually pretty damn good, and you've got a Coddle healing them up with the Illuminate spam from behind. And, perhaps even a PL poking a bit as well. So it's starting to look a little scary for Faceless. Now down 16,000 gold, no real pulse. I think that's where I worry is we're not seeing infest bombs. We're not seeing explosive farm. We don't see greedy Midases to catch up. Like, really, in just every aspect of the game, it feels like they're losing now. They're likely to continue to get out-farmed.
Yep.
There's a siege brewing. They have a difficult time fighting the Roche with the map, the vision that NP bring to bear from their map control advantage. And if there's no obvious way out of this box. Another duel and another win. That's the beautiful thing about those duels. The more you win, the easier the next one gets. It's one-shotting ranged creeps now.
Yeah, they're just pulling heroes around the map. It's so easy to find these pickoffs when you've got recall, boots of travel, and they're going to actually start chipping this high ground. The Batrider is the dangerous hero to push against, and with him dead, they feel like they can make this play.
Black engaged with the Hurricane Pike once that's stolen in, but the Blinding Light is going to look for the punish. They got to hook him back. Goes for the self-astral. Will buy himself a bit of time. Ice not opting to buy back yet, and there's where the Blink astral play does come in.
AUI is back with the cogs. Not sure if it was on cooldown.
So they will sack at least the range tracks here. Envy laying into that with the help of Fada. They'll bring it down, and remember, Duel is about to cool down. It's a very low cooldown. Already online again, so Faceless, be careful Black doesn't get caught. And we are content with this range racks. They'll back away for now, but you gotta imagine they'll be coming back for more soon.
Really see maybe some of the reasons behind this PL pick. It's very hard to use the Pudge. You can't find meat hooks because there's so many illusions to go through, so.
And you can't really dismember because you're gonna get hit by a battery assault or a cog, so. Yeah. Really, he's just not offering much this game.
They know where they are, they want to jump.
They find the opening here. Envy would be a decent kill. Is that going to be the target they choose to engage on? He gets off the BKB. They look for other openings. Lasso! Not even coming out. Ice just goes down like that. XY will be next.
BKB is
slaughtered.
too
It's 4 dead. Barely even felt like Faceless had a pulse in that fight.
That was the last hurrah in my mind. This was our opponents might be roaching. Let's smoke up, go jump them. Faceless had the element of surprise, but BKBs, OD does no damage, and didn't even, I mean, he sees Envy, he's like, oh, I can't go Envy, he's too tanky, he's got BKB, so he runs past and finds Legion. Oh, he also has a BKB, he's also too tanky.
Well, it ain't looking good for Faceless.
No.
Up 1-0 in the series, but looks like about to have to give up this game unless they can make some spectacular plays. Jabs does get off that hook initiation, but with no lasso follow-up, they can't really drag Envy far enough back. And I think he can honestly even tank those tier 4s and still walk away. Remember, there's the Legion who can help heal him on the retreat. So Faceless now down a full lane of racks. And MP playing this one methodically. As you can see Fada shoving in that bottom lane. Doesn't want to allow any opportunity for Faceless to take tower. Still every outer tower standing at 30 minutes. Almost unprecedented, I want to say. I don't know if this has happened once this tournament. It's certainly a rare sight in any patch. I feel like especially in 7.06, AUI sees the opportunity. Hook in and hook away. So Jab's at least able to counter that initiation.
They can fall back and take Roche now if they want to. Leave Fata maybe pushing out some of these lanes using his lances. He's going for a butterfly next. I like this. OD, the one damage deal on the Faceless side, does not really have any good solutions for evasion. I mean, Lifestealer as well. Like, he's going to struggle against evasion, but he's not dealing damage to begin with, so less for him, more for the OD, but great against the entire draft. And there we go. Straightforward Roche. Nothing Faceless can do to contest it. They are exclusively going to be defending high ground at this point.
Here comes another jump. Black, oh, is able to blink on time.
A bit far away and perhaps slow on the duel there. Misses one, but
I don't really know if they need the BKB to initiate these fights. Frankly, they probably don't even need a kill. They can just look to hit buildings. But obviously, getting that OD out of the way will just make, will basically roll the red carpet out for NP to come
Savage ranked.
Claim that second lane of racks.
definitely see OD was a great pick this game for Faceless, but the other lanes just fell apart too hard. There was nothing they could do because of how poorly the bottom and top lane matched up. And perhaps caught by surprise. Typically NP have run the Bristle in the safe lanes. It was in Envy's hands, but it was an off-lane Bristle destroying this Lifestealer.
I mean, could Faceless have laned it any differently? Were there any adjustments they could have made earlier that you see?
Send the Lifestealer Bob, but I think that's a tough lane too. Clockwork Legion. There was no good lane for this Lifestealer. Felt like a pick that was suboptimal against this Bristle. And then the Legion got picked up, I believe, after the Lifestealer, but still not proven to be a very, very bad Lifestealer game. I don't think you can fault anything XY's done in terms of his play. I think he's had some shaky games. He saw his Weaver, but I don't think he's done anything wrong. The hero of this game was just heavily counted.
Well, I have Scotty now complete for that Phantom Lancer. A little bit of install in here, but Black is going to need a lot more than that if he wants to solo carry this fight. Already structures continue to be chipped. Illusion swarming in on XY, and he will do his best to deal with them. Did go for the Maelstrom for that bit of clear, but it's not going to help you too much against these beefy frontline tanks. As Black continues to rack up the stolen in. Self-astral for now, and Jad just being eaten alive in the tree line. He's out of mana, he's out of options. I think those illusions just kill him. A freebie, and now the blink. The dual opening initiation there. It's a quick, decisive kill. Black's down, double buyback, but Faceless just a corpse at this point, waiting to be put 6 feet under. And NP will oblige them momentarily. Sieging the structures here. Envy wailing away at that tower. A 32,000 gold advantage at 34 minutes. Almost 1,000 gold per minute advantage being claimed. Faceless about to go into a game 3. Envy will take that second lane of Rax. Black stealing what he can, but always knowing that one jump by the Legion and he is donezo. It's just the cooldown that he can play around. The melee falls here too, and
Just not getting enough in. The Bristle in front has the Solar Crest, so the little bit of evasion's preventing OD stacking up enough in. He really needs like 40, 50 stolen before he can throw an ulti. Nice hook dodge from Father. Quick reactions, and the blinding light as well. Miss, miss, miss. Black just cannot.
I mean, you go in for an infest bomb and you walk away with
another duel.
Another duel initiation, another victory for MSS. Absolutely out of control. Jabs sheds a few tears as NP force it to go to a game 3. An ultra kill for Mojo.